Have you ever looked at a tracer and thought, I wonder how these work, or what are they even? Ever since World War I, militaries around the world have utilized tracer rounds in order to track the in-flight path of fired rounds and improve accuracy. In airsoft, tracer units accomplish these same purposes by lighting up each BBs as it's fired, so a light path is visible. In airsoft tracer units are especially beneficial when you're dealing in no light or no light conditions where your BB would otherwise be impossible to see. While tracer rounds and airsoft tracer units might serve the same purpose, the way they function is quite different. Today, we'll explore the question as to how airsoft tracer units work and, well, are they really beneficial? Airsoft tracer units traditionally look something like this, and they function by simply threading on to the front of your outer barrel, whether it's a pistol or a rifle, SMG, or even sniper rifle. Now, while these are the traditional form factors, there are still other ones. Some use an LED diode in the hop-up chamber to light up each BB as they exit. Some use an LED diode in the magazine to light up BBs as they get fed into your gun. However, these are the most popular types. Referring back to the ones that thread on top of your outer barrel, there are several sizes and threads ranging from 14mm counterclockwise, which is CCW, all the way up to a 24mm clockwise CW. Once it is attached, a tracer unit ends up looking kind of like a suppressor. This is really great for milsim players who want to keep their guns looking as realistic as possible. Rather than suppressing the gun's report though, the tracer unit works to illuminate each BB that is fired so that the BB's flight path is traceable in low light conditions. Now, it is worth mentioning, for those that may not know, for you to achieve this desired effect of seeing your BB light up, you need to use a specialized BB called, yes, very original, the tracer BB. Now, these tracer BBs glow in the dark, and as they do that, that's how you can see the flight path as they exit your barrel. These specialized BBs are a little bit more expensive, but they still come in various weights. However, they don't exceed 0.3 grams. But tracer BBs do come in different colors, a red or a green. For night games, the advantage of the tracer unit proves to be too considerable to be ignored. An additional benefit of using tracer units and tracer BBs is that it makes adjusting your scope or red dot that much easier. This is due to you being able to see the flight path of your BB easier, and it will drastically reduce the time needed to make sure your optics are zeroed in. For some of you that are watching right now, you may know this, but for some that don't, you may ask, well then what's so special about said BB? Well, it's because they're coated in something called phosphor. If you ever played with glow-in-the-dark toys as a child or painted with glow-in-the-dark paint, then you're already familiar with the effect that phosphor coating provides. In order to glow brightly enough to easily be visible, the phosphor coating needs to be charged, and that is where the airsoft tracer unit comes in. When a tracer BB passes out the barrel of the gun and through the attached tracer unit, it is exposed to a row of ultraviolet lights that charges the BB's phosphor coating, causing it to glow brightly the moment it exits the barrel. Most tracer units are powered by AA batteries, though some features built-in batteries that can be charged using an AC charger or a USB cord. A sensor detects the BB entering the tracer unit, and the light is activated in a quick flash, almost like the flash bulb of a camera. The light is intense enough so that the phosphor of the tracer BB absorbs sufficient energy and becomes luminous as the BB leaves the tracer unit. Tracer BBs offer the same amount of usability to us airsofters as tracer rounds would offer to military personnel. I would even argue it's probably a little bit more beneficial to us airsofters. With a real steel firearm, you can be fairly confident that the bullet will follow a relatively straight and predictable path unless you're shooting at extreme ranges. With airsoft guns, this isn't always the case, and visually tracking the BB's flight path is the most effective way for airsoft players to adjust their aim to take more accurate shots. But be forewarned, if you can see the tracer BB, that means your opponent can clearly see your position as well. In daytime, tracking the flight of a BB is fairly easy. In low light or no light conditions though, using a tracer unit and tracer BB is the only way to maintain this ability. Of course, there are other ways to have effective night engagements as well, things like infrared or night vision optics, but we're airsofters, and that stuff costs thousands of dollars. Not to mention, they're pretty hard to come by too. Attaching a flashlight to your gun, of course, is another option worth considering if you're intending a nighttime event. However, having to attach a flashlight doesn't completely negate the need for tracer rounds. For one, the light from an attached flashlight probably isn't going to be enough to illuminate BBs mid-flight, especially at longer distances. This means that tracking where your BBs are landing is still going to be a challenge. Second, keeping your flashlight on all the time or turning it on at the wrong time can sometimes be a tactical blunder. There's no better way to let the enemy player on the field know where you are than having a bright, shining beacon attached to the end of your gun. Flashlights are great, and it's something I would personally recommend anyone to have on their gun. But like I just said, they're not the one-size-fits-all solution. And I would say the same thing with tracers. They're not always a one-size-fits-all solution. So the best thing to do is to do both, tracer and flashlight. Some of the latest tracer units, especially from Acetech, can function during the day as well as they do at night. And they even have a row of front-firing LEDs to simulate a muzzle flash. Now, this might sound really gimmicky, but after using it during the MPX review, it was really fun. Now, with that said, some of you may think, well, can you really use tracers during the daytime? Well, the answer, of course, is a yes. At the end of the day, they do look like suppressors. You can either A, turn them off, or you can still use them with their tracer function. Remember, not every day is a super bright and sunny day. Also, there are great options for indoor arenas as well. Some arenas are well lit, but even though they are well lit, seeing your green or red BB fly across is just going to make life a little bit easier for you if you're aiming or making sure you're hitting who or whatever it is you're pointing at. Now, before we wrap this up, I want to leave you guys with a pro tip. If you're selecting a tracer unit for your pistol, make sure you find something lightweight. The reason why is if it's too heavy, it may weigh down on your outer barrel, causing your gun to have difficulty with cycling. So, the more you know. And we've used a plethora of different tracers on our channel throughout the years. Things like this one. This is the Acetech Raider we've used in conjunction with the MPX just a few videos ago. And with the USW video, we used this one from Tokyo Marui. It goes to say we have a wide range of different tracer options for you guys to choose from on our online store at www.redwolfairsoft.com. Now, we hope that this video has been educational for you. If you already knew how they work, fantastic. But if you didn't, we hope that this helped you understand a little bit more as to why sometimes airsofters have, well, suppressors at the end of their gun. I mean, like, what are we suppressing? It's an airsoft gun. Now you know what function oftentimes these things serve. If you liked this video, give us a like. If you thought it was cool, share it with your friends. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know every time we upload a new video. Guys, until the next one, have a good one.